Defeat doesn't come from failure, it comes from illusion. The illusion that effort guarantees reward. That loyalty ensures respect. That fairness governs life. Most people cling to these myths, and that's why they stay stuck. Machiavelli exposed the truth: the predictable are controlled, the adaptable rise. Imagine someone losing their job. Shaken, they whisper, "I did everything right." But that's the problem, they were easy to read, easy to replace. By the end of this video, you'll see how unpredictability becomes strength. And you'll learn 8 Machiavellian principles that turn uncertainty into power. Most people don't lack power, they surrender it. From childhood, we're conditioned to play safe, to follow the script, to avoid risk. We're told that obedience brings rewards, that loyalty guarantees respect, that staying within the rules secures success. But this is one of the greatest lies we live by. Think of the people who never say no, who shy away from conflict, who wait for permission before acting. Where do they end up? Waiting. Hoping someone will notice their effort. Believing fairness will eventually deliver results. But Machiavelli exposed a harsher truth: the world does not reward passivity. It rewards those who are strategic, adaptable, and bold enough to move first. Predictability is a weakness. Those who can read your patterns can use them against you. Those who know you'll bend will stop valuing your effort. That's why excessive compliance often backfires. It makes you invisible, even disposable. The system isn't unfair, it simply follows its own laws. The daring advance, the cautious are bypassed, and the timid are left behind. As Machiavelli observed, since love and fear can hardly exist together, if we must choose, it is far safer to be feared than loved. His point was not cruelty, but clarity. He showed that power rests on perception, not intentions. The illusion of weakness begins the moment you expect automatic rewards, that your dedication should be noticed, your loyalty should be honored, your goodness should be repaid. The truth is harsher: nobody owes you anything. And only when you accept this do you gain the freedom to act decisively, protect your path, and claim real strength. Principle 1: Unmask human nature. Failure often comes not from lack of effort, but from a flawed reading of people. Many look at others through the filter of their own hopes and values, assuming shared motives where none exist. The result is disappointment, betrayal, or misplaced trust. Every individual operates from personal interests. Even sincere generosity usually carries an unseen return: recognition, influence, a sense of purpose, or leverage. This does not make people cruel, it makes them human. But when the moment of pressure arrives, survival instinct outweighs sentiment. Self-preservation always takes priority. This is not cynicism, it is clarity. Those who understand this adapt. When selfishness is expected, genuine loyalty becomes rare and powerful. When hesitation is the norm, confidence stands out. Where blind obedience dominates, independence commands respect. Machiavelli observed, "People are so simple and so much inclined to immediate needs that a deceiver will never lack victims." Human nature, left unexamined, is predictable. Look closely: colleagues who whisper complaints but avoid action, friends who vanish until they need something, relatives who steer your choices for their own comfort. These patterns are not personal betrayals, they are recurring designs of behavior. Power begins with the ability to read them without illusion. Watch what people do, not what they say. Look for repeated patterns, not isolated moments. Distinguish between true generosity and strategic giving. See motives where others see only words. This awareness is a shield: it prevents exploitation, it tempers suspicion, and it teaches selective trust. The overly trusting become prey, the overly suspicious become isolated, but the discerning thrive. before influence can be built, the mask of human nature must be lifted. Only then can true power begin. Principle 2. Command your reactions. If clarity begins with seeing others as they are, strength continues with mastering oneself. Influence is rarely lost in the moment of failure, it collapses in the reaction to failure. Picture it, a driver trapped in traffic, calm one moment, raging the next. A professional, praised one day, snapping back at criticism the next. A leader, tested under pressure, panicking instead of guiding. These cracks reveal far more than words ever could. Reactions broadcast insecurity, fear, or fragility long before they are spoken. Machiavelli noted, "Everyone sees what you appear to be, few experience what you really are." And it is often in those raw, unguarded seconds, the flare of anger, the rush to defend, the stumble into panic, that true character is exposed. Commanding reactions does not mean silencing emotion. It means shaping it into a weapon rather than a weakness. The disciplined pause is a shield, it restores composure, it prevents manipulation, it protects authority. To pause is not to hesitate, but to choose the timing and form of response with precision. This discipline is not lifeless restraint. It is strategy. Patience, when deployed deliberately, becomes a sign of control. Kindness, when measured, builds alliances. Vulnerability, when chosen, invites trust. Yet the undisciplined display of anger, desperation, or fear hands leverage to others without a fight. Those who hold composure do more than protect dignity, they steer conversations, redirect outcomes, and establish presence. They make volatility look stable, and stability look powerful. The habit begins small. When provoked, breathe. When questioned, wait before answering. When pressure demands reaction, allow silence to carry weight. Each deliberate pause builds control, each moment of restraint reinforces authority. Over time, this mastery turns impulsive reactions into calculated responses, and calculated responses into influence. Principle 3. Authority through boundaries. Excessive affection or reliance often turns into neglect. When presence is guaranteed, value fades. Yet pure strictness breeds resistance and erodes trust. True authority lies in balance, respect earned through competence, reinforced by boundaries that cannot be crossed. Those who master this balance become steady figures in any setting, calm, reliable, and self-assured. It is not harshness but consistency, fairness, and integrity that command respect. As Machiavelli noted, it is much safer to be feared than loved, because love is preserved by obligation, which is broken whenever it benefits others. Fear, however, is preserved by the dread of punishment which never fails. Influential figures embody this duality. They show care, yet remain firm. They are approachable, yet unyielding in standards. Boundaries are their shield. Refusing empty obligations, stepping away from draining situations, declining favors without apology, each signals worth. Once time and energy are recognized as limited, respect follows. And with respect comes influence. Boundaries must remain fair and consistent. Arbitrary severity sparks resentment, while constant refusal isolates. But measured limits create both trust and authority. When rules are clear and calm, behavior adjusts naturally, and presence gains weight. This fusion of respect and firmness strengthens lasting influence. Principle 4. Lessons hidden in defeat. Setbacks are never just failures, they are revelations. Disappointment strips away illusions and shows what truly matters to people under strain. It reveals their priorities, their motives, and the strength of their character. Where the naive drown in anger or regret, the strategic mind extracts truth. Machiavelli wrote, "People reveal themselves most when they think they are safe." A broken promise uncovers how loosely loyalty is held. Unfair treatment exposes what someone values more than integrity. Collapse under pressure shows the limits of their strength. Each defeat provides a record, proof of reliability or its absence, of loyalty or opportunism, of honesty or disguise. The wise do not treat these signals as accidents. They study them. They notice when actions split from words, when generosity hides calculation, when loyalty proves conditional. This awareness is not paranoia but protection, the difference between walking blind into traps and anticipating them. Every frustration becomes foresight, every wound becomes resilience. The strongest are not those who avoid setbacks, but those who refine themselves through them. With each disappointment, judgment grows sharper. With each defeat, clarity grows stronger. And clarity is the ground from which resilience, confidence, and lasting influence are built. Principle 5. Power in detachment. Those who rise are never ruled by desperation. Success is pursued, but not tied to happiness. Respect is valued, but not chased. Relationships are enjoyed, but not used as a crutch for self-worth. Detachment creates unshakable confidence. Neediness makes people predictable and easy to control. The desperate worker, the approval seeker, the partner afraid of loss, all reveal weakness. Detachment reverses this. It sharpens judgment, strengthens choices, and makes presence magnetic. Machiavelli wrote, "He who neglects what is done for what ought to be done sooner affects his ruin than his preservation." Detachment is not indifference, it is intelligent care. It means investing effort, but always with alternatives. It means hoping for the best, while preparing for obstacles. Those who detach walk away from draining ties, refuse to serve fear disguised as loyalty, and command respect by showing they cannot be owned. Options build freedom. Freedom breeds composure. And composure is power. The one who can walk away approaches every situation with calm strength. The one who needs nothing has the power to create everything. Principle 6. The weapon of silence. Mystery multiplies influence. The less revealed, the more respected. Words weigh heavier when explanations are scarce, and plans gain force when kept private. Most weaken themselves by talking too much, oversharing thoughts, exposing intentions, explaining every move. This makes them predictable, easy to read, and easy to control. Machiavelli reminded, "Everyone sees what you appear to be, few experience what you really are." Silence protects what matters. The disciplined use of pauses creates authority. Restraint gives space to observe what others miss. Speaking less makes words harder to dismiss. Listening more exposes motives that would otherwise stay hidden. This is not coldness, but strategy. One can remain approachable without being transparent, open without being exposed, social without losing the edge. The most effective leaders keep certain details hidden, forcing others to wonder, while maintaining control over their path. People respect what cannot be fully read and value what cannot be easily replaced. The one who masters silence and mystery doesn't just protect influence, they amplify it. Principle 7. Fortune bows to boldness. The cautious wait for the perfect moment, the bold create it. Some cling to hope and call it luck, others turn decisions into opportunities. Many wait for permission, the decisive act without asking. Fortune tilts toward those who move while others hesitate. The hesitant drown in overthinking, paralyzed by what-ifs and endless debates. The bold, by contrast, step forward, and their momentum reshapes circumstances. As Machiavelli observed, fortune is the arbiter of one half of our actions, but she still leaves us to direct the other half. Most live reactively, answering events instead of steering them. Boldness breaks this cycle. It does not mean recklessness, but calculated initiative. The one who risks intelligently grows stronger with every step, learning from outcomes rather than waiting for guarantees that never come. While others search for certainty, the bold act. While others wait for timing, they create it. While others analyze endlessly, they build momentum. And in that movement, fortune bends in their favor. Principle 8. Forge an untouchable identity. Reputation is one of the rarest forms of power. It opens doors that money cannot buy, creates opportunities that talent alone cannot secure, and builds trust that takes years to establish but moments to lose. An untouchable identity is born when reputation rests on reliability, competence, and integrity, when actions consistently match words. Such a person is known for delivering what they promise, for following through on commitments, for protecting the boundaries they set. Over time, this consistency becomes a fortress. Each fulfilled promise strengthens credibility, each act of discipline builds respect, and every display of reliability compounds into an aura of authority. Recognition turns into influence, and influence reinforces recognition, a cycle that grows stronger with every action. Machiavelli observed, "People judge generally more by the eye than by the hand. For everyone can see and few can feel. Everyone sees what you appear to be, few experience what you really are. Appearances matter, but true permanence requires more than display. An untouchable identity cannot be faked, it must be grounded in self-mastery. Self-mastery begins with awareness. Strengths and weaknesses must be understood. Triggers, habits, and limits must be recognized, not denied. From awareness grows discipline, the ability to do what is promised, to act when committed, to keep even the silent contracts made with oneself. Discipline builds trust, trust generates respect, respect fuels influence. The final pillar is self-reliance. Happiness, worth, and identity cannot depend on others' approval. Permission is not required to live fully. Relying on one's own judgment and capability makes a person unshakable, because nothing external controls their foundation. When reputation and mastery unite, the result is an untouchable identity. Such individuals cannot be undermined because their strength is proven and principled. They cannot be manipulated because they are prepared and self-sufficient. They cannot be swayed because they are anchored in clarity and conviction. Untouchable does not mean isolated. It means entering relationships without dependency, enjoying success without attachment, accepting respect without needing it as proof of worth. It is balance, strength without arrogance, confidence without fragility, presence without pretense. This is what makes a person admired, trusted, and remembered, grounded not in appearance, but in principle. Now the full scope of Machiavelli's lessons is clear. Strength is not handed down, it is built. Success does not favor the obedient, but the deliberate. History proves these principles work. The question is not whether they hold true, but whether one has the courage to apply them. Will human nature be studied or ignored? Will reactions be mastered or left uncontrolled? Will boundaries be set or neglected? Will setbacks become lessons or resentments? Will detachment create freedom or neediness breed chains? Will silence be used strategically or squandered through endless explanation? Will boldness shape fortune, or hesitation hand it away? And above all, will an untouchable identity be forged, or will vulnerability define one's path? Each choice determines the outcome. Whether life is guided or left to chance depends on these decisions. Machiavelli did not invent these laws, he recorded them. He studied the patterns of rulers and subjects, victories and defeats, and revealed the mechanics of power. The blueprint exists. The construction is up to those who dare to follow it. Power is not chaos, it is design. Every principle you've seen here is part of a larger structure that repeats across history. Those who ignore it live by the rules of others. Those who master it begin to write their own. Machiavelli showed that clarity, discipline, and strategy are not optional, they are survival. Weakness clings to fairness, strength adapts to reality. The naive hope, the bold act. This is the true division between those who stay controlled and those who command. But these 8 principles are only the foundation. The full framework, the complete architecture of power, is gathered in the playlist Machiavelli on Power as Design. There, every lesson connects into a system that turns uncertainty into authority, and hesitation into control. The question is no longer whether these laws work. History has already answered that. The question is whether you will use them, or remain used by them.